So we left off in part one there. We had our five buttons we were building, and I put them all on the stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're all on this buttons layer. And that layer needs to be a little more organized. So the background layer is locked, the buttons layer is unlocked. I've got everything selected on this layer. I can do that by drawing a box or by hitting Control A. Then I'm going to go to Edit. I'm sorry. It's Modify. I apologize. Go to Modify, Align, and I can tell them all to push over to the right side. Perfect. They all lined up straight. And then the next thing I'm going to do is Modify, Align, and Distribute Heights. So now they're all equidistant apart. I might just scoot them in a little more just to get them away from the edge. You can if you want. It's up to you. That looks pretty good. So if I hit Control Enter and test it, you can see the rollover effects and they look nice. The other thing I want to put on this layer before I get too worked up is my home button. So you can either create, well, we're just going to start with creating a new button, our new symbol. Insert new symbol, and this I'm going to call B6. And the reason I'm going to call it B6 is because the script is going to be real specific about button 6. If you drew something in Photoshop, you can drag it out and you can set it up the way you want to set it up. And make yourself a frame in the hit layer. That's fine. If you didn't do anything in Photoshop and you want to just create something fresh, you can just maybe draw a rectangle and pick a color and go for it. Taking your type tool, maybe a new color for that. Up to you. However you want to handle it, just make sure you've got a frame in the hit layer. When you go back to scene 1, you're not going to see it there, but it will be in the library. It's going to be B6, and that's my home button. And you can sort of mess with that. You can mess around with it a little bit, go back into the editing mode, make it smaller if you want. I'm going to leave it like that. And finally, I'm going to name all the instances of everything. The instance name is right here. And if you remember from our script from before, our script looked like this. And the buttons are called B1 underscore BTN, B2 underscore BTN, B3 underscore BTN. So that's what we're going to name them. This is B1 underscore BTN. And make sure you do it the same way on every one of them. I'm going to get through about 3 or 4. And then I'm going to pause my recording. I'll pause it now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm actually going to name the home button 6. That way I will have that functional the way I want it. It'll go to the script for button 6. This is going to be the script that affects that home button right there. So I've got all 6 of my buttons named and figured out that way. I might make the home button a little smaller. Ooh, my goodness. Okay, I'm not having a lot of luck making the home button smaller, but whatever. You can probably lock up your button layer at this point. And the next layer is going to be for my images. So on my new layer, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to call it Images. And I'm going to start my first picture on frame 10. So I'm going to insert a keyframe. And my first button's for the Japanese garden. So I'm going to take my large picture of the Japanese garden and put it here. And that's going to be at 0 and 0. A couple of things are going to happen here. And actually, in a little bit, I'm going to swap the images in the buttons layer. I'm going to put this red layer on top of that layer, but I'm not going to worry about it yet. I just put the picture down. And I'm actually going to go up here. If you click on the frame, I'm going to name this frame, and that's going to be image 1. And if you remember from before, no spaces. So right click keyframe at 20. And that's going to be image 2. And if I click the photograph, I can swap it with my second picture. Right click in keyframe. And that's going to be image 3. Click the photograph, swap out with the larger picture. And that's it. 4 or 5. Oop, almost got the small one. There we go. And I should have made this a little bit bigger. I think I'll just go ahead at frame 55 and call it image 6, because what I'm going to need is a spot where there's no picture, and that's where the home button is going to take me to. So I probably should have extended this out to 70. I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you want, you can. It doesn't really affect change in the way the script works. It just makes it easier to see all your image labels. Once you have that, I can lock that layer, and I'm actually going to trade images and buttons, making buttons on top. The reason I'm going to do that is because my home button is impossible to see. If I drag this layer up, now my home button is going to be in front. Right now, if I play this back, I have no script. So it's just going to zip through there. So where do I do the script? I make a new layer. I'm going to call that layer Actions. And on that layer, I'm going to click on frame 1. On frame 1, I'm going to open up my action script panel. Remember, that's this button right here, or F9 on your keyboard, or window and down to the word Actions. Either way. That's the script that I have on my page, and you can select the whole thing by just dragging your mouse. But to be easier, you can just hit Control and the letter A. To copy it, you can hit Control and the letter C as in copy, or you can right-click and copy it this way. And that's where I'm going to paste it. If I close that window, I can see that little tiny A where the action script is clearly located. I'm going to lock that up too, just for the sake of keeping everything organized. And now the button should work. The last thing I want to do is add my audio files, because I want to do that last so I don't wind up listening to the same thing over and over and over again while I'm working. So I've got my background, my images, my buttons, my actions. I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to call it audio or sounds or whatever. I'll just call it audio. And this is where you just got to line stuff up. So let's take my audio files. And I actually recorded some longer sounds earlier. These are the shorter sounds. Oops. So you can import them to the library. You can either just file, import to library that way, or you can just drag them and drop them in the library. Okay, easy enough. Making new keyframes each time. So on my audio layer, I'm going to insert a keyframe at 10, and that's where the Japanese garden is. So Japanese garden, drag it to the stage. There it goes. Don't worry if it looks like it's going to take forever. It's just the frame rate of the movie. On frame 20, I'm going to insert a keyframe, and that's my museum piece. And on frame 30, insert a keyframe. It's my stockyards. 40, keyframe, water gardens, and 50, there it is, keyframe, and that's the one about the zoo. If you hit Control on your keyboard and then push the Enter key, you will get a preview like this. And that seems to be a better option for us if we publish things and try to watch them back in a browser. Our browsers are doing a blocker software, which is frustrating. But Control Enter seems to be doing the trick here. So let's take a look. Let me make this a little larger so we can see it better. And I click it. Go back home. Back home. So there it is. Nice little travel guide for Fort Worth. If you ever wanted to take a weekend trip somewhere, just not too far, and spend some time in a place that's a little different from Dallas, lo and behold, you can go to Fort Worth. So show me that presentation with 5 buttons that have a rollover effect, and have audio on them, and a home button that's functional. If you show me all of that, then congratulations, you are finished.